Well, haven't done a video for a very long time, and I'm just trying out an old camera to see if it still works, and it seems to be. Um, I do remember this camera is a bit temperamental at times, and it's also very, very old and falling to bits. But this is the Ferguson Studio 20D, which I've owned for many, many years. It used to belong to my great granddad, and I sort of inherited it after he passed away, and I've had it for well, as I say, a very long time, well over 10 years, um, probably more like 15 or so. And yes, it's still working, but it's recently had to have some work done because the cassette deck had gone deaf. It decided it wasn't going to record anymore, but it appeared to be that it was just simply a case of a very, very dirty and possibly slightly corroded uh, record playback switch. And inside the cassette deck, and the cassette deck actually comes out separately to the rest of the music centre, um, quite easily actually. It's only held in via four screws internally, and there's four screws that actually hold the fascia on. So yeah, 8 screws in total. And yes, took the cassette deck out, and there's two very long tracks, probably about 4 inches long, 3 or 4 inches long. These record playback tracks running in parallel, and they're quite exposed actually. Some of the more later equipment, they were sort of smaller switches and they were more enclosed, but these are very exposed, and could quite easily collect dust and bits and pieces inside. Actually treated the record playback switch to some very old Philips. You can't get hold of it anymore. Some Philips service spray, which must be well over 20 years old, and it didn't work at first. But leaving it overnight, it suddenly did. It seemed to soak in and do the trick, and it's been recording well ever since. Um, Quite bizarre, really. It had gone from recording to suddenly not even blanking the tape. So pressing record and playback made the VU meter swing into action as it is now, but it wasn't even erasing the tape. So therefore, the bias signal going to the head was not even there. There was absolutely nothing. I'm amazed that the VU meter even worked. But now it does work. It records very well indeed. And for a very early music centre such as this one, and quite a basic one really, it's just a run-of-the-mill Ferguson at the time. It does have Dolby noise reduction, and it works really well um, without taking too much of the treble away, I've noticed. Some of the later machines, some of the really high quality machines of the sort of mid to late 80s, I've noticed that the Dolby will quite often take away a bit of the treble, but this never has done. It has a fully automatic BSR record deck, which still works perfectly. This isn't the auto changer model. Sort of by the late 70s, which this is from, they did away with the auto changer BSR decks and just fitted standard ones like this, very often with the S-shaped tone arm instead of the straight tone arms which they used to use on the earlier BSR decks. They used this deck in so many of the music centres in the 1970s. Ferguson were just one of the many manufacturers to adopt the BSR deck, simply because of their reliability, and they are very reliable indeed. Most of my 1970s music centres have this deck, and they are excellent. This particular music centre has seen very heavy use. You sort of get the picture through some of the wear if you can see it on the video camera. and the wear and tear that's on the poor old thing. Yes, it's working very well indeed now. Haven't serviced the BSR record deck for some time, but seems to be running okay, and even the automatic return is still working, which is usually the first thing to give trouble. Controls are quite basic on the front. Volume, which also doubles up as the on and off switch. You have a treble and bass control, which is quite nice because some more basic record players and music centres just used to have a tone control, but this one has actually got tone and bass, and you've got a balance control there. And on the front you've got the selection for cassette, record player, stereo and mono, which works on all functions actually, cassette, record, and of course the radio. And you have 3 bands for the radio: FM, long wave, medium wave, and automatic frequency control, which is meant to hold a frequency to stop it drifting off. And you've got a tuning knob there, and of course above there you've got the display for the radio tuning, which is actually lit up with a small red LED, which you might not be able to see in this light, but it's about there, I think. This still picks up Radio Caroline on medium wave, which is quite remarkable really. And on the front there, the logo for Ferguson 20D, and quite proudly displayed, although you can't see it very well in this light, Dolby system, and next to it an FM stereo light for when you're tuned into a strong signal for the radio. But it's nice to have it after all this time and still working, and at present we are listening to it through some Bang & Olufsen speakers. I might have said that wrong, but these came from a friend of mine a few years ago, and one of the speaker drivers actually had to be replaced because it was completely open circuit. These are probably not the best speakers to run with the music centre, but they fit up there nicely and they look the part, so they've stayed up there. I do in fact have the original speakers for this music centre up in the attic, but although they've been modified, they don't actually sound the best. Before I end the video, I shall just demonstrate me setting up the cassette to record side B of this record, and I will endeavour to do it one-handed. Of course, this is a thing of the past these days, people recording onto cassette. We should just pause the cassette for now. the record will come to the end. And although I was telling you the automatic return still works, it appears to have decided to call me a liar. There we go. Needed knocking on a little bit there. There we go, and it is switched off automatically. Just going to be naughty there to save a bit of time and stop the record from spinning. Now this record is in very well used condition, so I'm not being too delicate with it, but would normally be a bit more delicate. This side does actually have some damage. It's a very well used and well played record, thankfully bought very cheaply from a charity shop. And there we go, I've started the recording, and that's it, carrying on recording side B. And off it goes again. Anyway, I thought I'd do a little update of the Ferguson 20D. When I started this YouTube channel years ago, this was actually one of the very first things I filmed. And that would have been well over 10 years ago now. As I say, probably more like 15. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.